Do you ever have one of those weeks where things are going fantastic, and then they're going terrible, and then they're doing great again, and then they're plummeting? Well, ever since we got back to the boat, it's been one of those weeks. But I'll delve into that at the end of this video, and we'll also go over our new itinerary because our boat plans have changed.
Because they're written in the sand at low tide.
One look in your eyes and I find it. When you leave in my mind I rewind it. When you got it this good, you don't fight it.
Well, we are back on the boat after a 17-hour run from Philadelphia, which we do non-stop. I typically drive 16 hours. Lynn takes about an hour while I take a nap, but we like to just come straight through. And we got in about 4 o'clock this morning, took about a 4-hour nap, and now we're up. Usually on our first day back, we like to just take it easy, maybe go to a restaurant, have a few drinks, meet up with some friends, and that's still the plan. But every time we come back to the boat, there's always something. I mean, we went around the boat, everything looks great, there's no mildew, everything looks really good, it held up well, but 2 things went wrong. The battery on our kitchen sink here, yes, it is battery operated because it's touch, that went dead, which is kind of normal. The batteries last about a year, so that's easy. And the air conditioning pump was seized. Same thing happened to me last year as well. The air conditioning pump was seized. And fortunately, I know how to get it unseized and not have to go out and buy another pump. So basically, what I do is I take off the wet end here, which I've already taken the screws out. And once I have the wet end off, I take this little housing off here, and then you got this thing that spins. This is what seized, but you can never get it with your fingers. So if I take the housing off, I can go unseize it. And now, if I were to say plug it in, it should, whoops, get that in there, see what happens. And there we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it back together. However, instead of putting this old wet end on, I do have a spare one that I bought in case that ever went. And although this one seems to be working perfectly fine, it's a little bit noisy, so I don't know if it's starting to wear out. So I'm going to put this new one on, and I'm going to keep this one as an emergency spare. So, got to get that going because we're in Florida. It's 10 o'clock in the morning, and it's going to be getting hot. I'm already sweating, so I'm going to get this air conditioner running and talk to you later. Lynn's project today is she is rebuilding the seats for our Boston Whaler. Over the last couple of years, they've been deteriorating. I don't know what kind of wood they use, but you can see that it rotted. And so what we're going to do is we're going to reupholster them. We're going to save the foam. She's taking off the vinyl. We're putting in new, we got some butcher block board, and we're using that. We're going to seal it. We're going to use that as the new base plate here. She's going to put the foam on it and wrap it. We got some good Sombrella type material. And so we've been looking forward to doing this because these seats have been looking crummy for a couple of years now, and it's going to look beautiful when she's done. One of our YouTube subscribers and good friend, Scott, heard us discussing how we wanted to replace our inflatable dinghy with something a little bit bigger and with more power, and he kindly gave us a dinghy that he wasn't using. It's a beautiful AB 9-foot model with a 9.9 horsepower Yamaha, exactly what we wanted for an everyday dinghy. Quite a few of our viewers came out to visit us this past week. We did not get a chance to film everyone, but here are a few of our new friends. We got the opportunity to tour a DeFever 56 pilot house named Soulmates. It's owned by Tiffany and Jim. What a beautiful boat! We did not have our lights and cameras with us, so we couldn't show you everything, but here are a few clips.
bathroom is awesome. Yep, I know. It's a total room. And what do we have here? The closet, master bathroom, bed, and the beautiful bedroom. Oh my God, this is gorgeous. And then back to the kitchen. And my beautiful girlfriend.
Wow, where to start? Now, as you saw earlier in the video, we had some stumbles when we first got to the boat. The air conditioning pump had seized, but we were able to get that going. But we had some fantastic things happen as well. Like our good friends Scott and Kim, I guess they heard us whining about our tender and how much we don't like our inflatable so much. We think it's a little bit too small and way too slow. And they generously gave us a tender. Wow, and that was fantastic. Thank you, Scott and Kim. There were a couple of things that happened that just never made it to video, and we'll talk about them now. Shortly after arriving here in Titusville, I realized I had forgotten the passports. Well, not really forgotten them. I went to look for them before we left home, and they weren't in the spot that I always keep them. So I thought, oh, surely I left them on the boat.
We assumed
Yeah,
they were on the boat.
We came to the boat, no passports. So we tore the boat apart. We looked over everything. We could not find the passports. I had my son go over to our land house, look for them. He said they weren't where I keep them at all. You know, without passports, we can't go to the Bahamas. Which, okay, so we changed our plans. And we decided, instead of going to the Bahamas, we're going to do a more extended tour of Florida. And then we'll also maybe jump out to the Marquesas and the Dry Tortugas, places we haven't been. Hey, it's all going to be good. It's going to be lots of fun.
We always wanted to check them out anyway, so it was like, okay.
Sure. Since we were no longer in such a rush, we usually like to leave May 1st because the trip's long. We thought, well, the trip's going to be shorter. So why don't we do a couple of the maintenance items that we've been procrastinating on before we leave? Yeah, so we started doing some projects. Lynn decided she was going to reupholster the Boston Whaler, all the seats on the Boston Whaler.
Right, which desperately needed to be done.
Yeah, and you know, I did some other little things around the boat, and then and we were all set. And then one day, my daughter decides to go over to our land house, and just for the hell of it, take one last look around. She finds the passports. They were in the drawer next to the drawer that I always put them in, underneath a checkbook.
Leave it to a woman.
Yeah, so she overnights the passports to us, and now our plans are changing again. Now we had the ability to go to the Bahamas again with one big problem. All the things we normally do to prep the boat for a trip to the Bahamas, we haven't done yet because we thought we had all the time in the world. We haven't changed the oil, we haven't provisioned, I haven't checked the fluids or, you know, topped off the batteries. We were about a week behind, so we figured, well, we really got to hustle. We're going to get all this stuff done quick. So we were making a trip over to West Marine to pick up some supplies. And on the way, we stopped at a Wawa to get lunch and some drink and all that. And I'm walking in the door to Wawa, and this guy comes running up to me frantically. He's like barely getting words out. It's like, my wife, I got to get her to the hospital, and she had a miscarriage before, and he's trying to spit this out, and he's like, and I forgot my wallet, I don't have any gas. And then I give the guy $20, and he runs past me into Wawa, gives it to the woman at the counter, and runs back out. Yep, and just pumps up and he speeds off. So I'm like,
it was for real.
Yeah, so I'm kind of feeling good. It's like, hey, good, maybe karma's going to spin around for me now. I got my passports, and this guy, you know, helped out a stranger. And so we finish up in Wawa, I go to the men's room, we leave, and then we go to West Marine. As soon as I get to West Marine, I realize I don't have my phone, which has my wallet. It's missing. And I remember what I did.
And your ID.
My ID, my credit cards, everything. I remember when I was in the men's room, I put it down on the sink to wash my hands, and I guess I left it there. So we rush back to Wawa, and it's gone. Someone's taken it. We ask all the store employees, they know nothing. We sit around for a while sulking, and that's it. It's gone. So we drive off. We decide we're going to go back to...
But I didn't want to leave till we left our telephone number.
So Lynn leaves our telephone number.
And the guy says, you're never going to get it back. And I said, stranger things have been known to happen.
Well, we drive off. We head back to Titusville. We stop at T-Mobile because I'm going to need a new phone no matter what. And while
business.
it turns out I have insurance anyway for the phone, so I'm going to get a free phone. Okay, so it's not the end of the world, although I'm still missing my license, credit cards. I got to go to the Bahamas. I don't have my credit cards. I don't have my license. It's just like, oh my God, it's the universe telling us something, you know? And then while we're there at the T-Mobile, I'm filling out an application to get a new phone. Her phone rings. It's Wawa. 2 hours after the event, somebody walked into the store from outside and handed them my phone that they had found. We have no idea who. They just handed it, said it was outside, and they went away, and we don't know what happened. I kind of think that maybe some kid or somebody found it in the men's room, took out maybe there's $100 in cash in there, took it and just like chucked it, and then someone saw it on the ground. I have no idea. But we sped back over to Wawa. There it was. I have all my credit cards back. I have my license back. And now we're like, okay, now the Bahamas is on again. You know? But then we are like thinking, God, this is stressing us out. We are rushing on everything. We're already behind schedule. So we just decided then and there that we're going to change our schedule around a little bit and take it easy.
Just relax, because it was getting too stressful.
It was. And on top of that, I have this business matter that I have to attend to on May 17th, I think it is. And my plan was we're going to go to the Bahamas, and I was going to fly out of Nassau, fly back to Philadelphia, take care of things, and fly back to meet Lynn back in Nassau.
I was going to hang out in the Bahamas
and that
myself.
Yeah, take the boat with another captain and leave, probably. But now that's a problem because I don't think I can make it to Nassau by the 17th because of all these things that are delaying us. So anyway, long story short, we decided to change our schedule, our whole itinerary. For those of you who are Patreons, you know that we posted our original schedule up on Patreon and our Patreon Facebook page, you know, about a month ago, I guess. So that's all changing.
Throw that out the window. It doesn't count anymore.
Yeah, so now our current plan is that we are going to leave here somewhere maybe around the 20th, May 20th. We're going to head out to West, we're going to go down a little bit, then head out to West End. We're going to do the Abacos this time. We're going to go up to, probably go all the way down to Spanish Wells, U-turn it, and come back via Nassau, Chubkey, Bimini. So we're going to make a kind of a big loop. It'll maybe be a 3-week Bahamas trip this year, which will still give us enough time before hurricane season really hits for us to do the Gulf Coast of Florida, go to Key West, and do our usual routine there.
Yes.
So that's currently the plan. Because of these scheduling changes, amongst various other reasons, the 2 crews that we had set to join us on the first and second leg of the Bahamas are no longer available. So suddenly, we are crewing the boat ourselves, unless some of you want to join us. Now, if you are a couple and you have the ability to spend 10 days to 2 weeks cruising through paradise and don't mind becoming a working member of our crew, reach out to us. Contact us on Facebook or our YouTube channel or Patreon. Now, I know it's short notice. We plan to leave in, well, approximately 3 weeks.
We met amazing people last year on last-minute scheduling.
Yeah, so you just never know how things work out. So anyway, reach out. And now, since I know somebody's going to ask what we are drinking, this is a Manhattan with Bullets bourbon and a cherry from our friend Tiffany, whose boat tour you saw a little earlier in this video.
Yes.
Thanks, Tiffany.
And I am drinking vodka with a mango lemonade. Mango lemonade, who ever heard of that? But it's delicious with a little blue cacao.
Yep. So, cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Oh. Roger
out.